I'm here in Mr. Dawson's class, and they have something to tell you.
Welcome to the Signal Show!
This week on the Signal Show, Spotlight is going to be covering ACT scores, sports is going to be covering softball and cross-country teams, academics and clubs are going to be focused on color guard, and Opinion is going to be talking about senior pranks. Would you rather live in a house that's always hot or always cold?
Cold.
Hey, Ben, would you rather be an airplane or a helicopter?
An airplane, because you can fly longer distances and go so much faster.
And would you rather be able to control people or time?
Probably time. I don't know. I could just stop it, just change stuff around. Be pretty cool.
Rather have an upside-down nose or upside-down ears?
I'd rather have upside-down ears because my hair would hide them so no one would see.
Thank you for watching the Signal Show, and we'll see you after Thanksgiving break.
This week's academic piece is about Color Guard wanting to become its own class. We talked to the director of the Color Guard, Tyler Newton, and Mr. Todd Stinson about it becoming its own class. We even talked to people who were interested in taking it.
Basically, the process for getting a class on the schedule that is not currently on the schedule would be someone has to express interest. Usually that would be a teacher or a faculty member would come to a member of the administration and say, we would like to offer this class for students. If we felt like it was a good opportunity for students, we would then put it on the course request form when students register in the early spring to see how much interest there is among the students. After we do that, we then look at teacher allocation to see if we have teachers that are qualified to teach that have available spots in their schedule.
I chose to do Color Guard because my older brother was in the marching band. I always went to the competitions and the football games, and I just saw the Color Guard, and it looks like it was something cool to be part of. I've been in the Color Guard for 3 years, which this is going to be my 7th season of Winter Guard, and I continue to do this because it's a way to express myself. It's fun to have that refuge to go to when I'm having a bad day, and I just really like it, so that's why I do it.
So I did Color Guard because there was no right or wrong way to do it. It's just whatever you felt like doing, and it's good to not have a outline of what you have to do. You can kind of create whatever you want. So I became a director just because I wanted to teach people that it was okay to not have an outline, like I said in the last one, where you can just do whatever you want, and as long as it's together, then it's right. So I think it would be good for Color Guard to be a class because it would give us more time during school to rehearse and get better at the show, and more time to spend together throughout the season.
We're trying to get students more engaged in learning about Color Guard and Winter Guard, and these 6th graders wanted to learn how they can do it. This kid wants to learn flag, and he wants to learn rifle. So we're going to teach them a little bit about how to do that. Thank you for watching this week's academic piece. See you next time, Signal.
Done.
Hey Signal, welcome back to this week's Signal Show. This is Jossie Parker reporting for athletics. As we enter a slow week for Signal sports, we're going to focus on sending the cross-country team to their state meet, and we're going to look ahead to a new softball season with a new coach. Let's get with it. We're here with Laura Page Sitton, a 10th grader. Laura Page, what are some changes that you expect to see as we enter a new softball season with a new coach?
I believe that the practices will be formatted different since it's a new coach, and the lineup and everything will be completely different.
Great. Now, what are some expectations that you have as the season is starting to begin?
Since it's a new district, I believe that we'll have more games that we can win, and we should all have fun.
All right, thank you.
All right, I'm Coach Hanslick, and I'm the varsity high school softball coach.
All right, now what are some aspects of this softball season that you're going to approach differently than Coach Loyal approached?
This year our approach is to start working out a little bit earlier so we can get stronger and faster, and we're hitting in the facility a couple days a week so that we can get a jump on our skills a little earlier than this season last year.
Awesome. Now, we're in a new district this year, playing some new schools that we haven't played for a while, so what are sort of your expectations for how this season's going to go?
I think our new district is going to be beneficial for our team. I think we're going to have more success being in that district or in the new district that we're in. I really don't have any expectations because I'm new to the school, new to the district, but I do think that we're going to have a really good opportunity to be successful this year with our schedule.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Will Rimke, and I'm a sophomore at Signal Mountain.
Will, what are some things that you and the rest of the cross-country team did to prepare to make it to state this year?
We did some really tough workouts and some good conditioning to get us prepared to run at state this year.
Nice. Now, as some of the seniors are leaving, what kind of leadership role are you expecting to have to take on for the next few years?
We actually don't have many upperclassmen after these seniors graduate. We only have one, so I'll be expected to be one of the leaders on the team from now on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey Signal, we hope you enjoyed this week's sports segment and looking into softball and cross country. Tune back in for next week with more of your Signal Mountain athletics.
Hi, I'm Sophia Fowler, and this week's opinion segment will be talking about senior pranks, so let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Julia Knoll. I'm a senior.
Do you remember any of the senior pranks in previous years?
I very vividly remember the senior prank committed by the seniors when I was in 6th grade. They all dressed up as zombies and ambushed us in the cafeteria. Maybe not the most appropriate, but it was definitely hilarious, especially looking back on it. Quite terrifying then, but great prank.
In general, do you think senior pranks are a good idea?
As a senior, I definitely think they're a good idea, but maybe the other grades have different opinions. I think that they shouldn't, cause real damage to the property or the people involved, but they're definitely funny and fun to do.
All right, I'm Chris, and I'm a senior.
Do you remember any of the previous senior pranks at the school?
I remember in my 6th grade year, all the seniors dressed up as zombies and raided the cafeteria and scared all the 6th graders.
Do you think that senior pranks go too far and are damaging?
I don't think so, no. I mean, it's all just fun and games. I mean, there was also another time they put a bunch of timers in all the ceiling tiles, and they all went off at the same time. It's just really meant to be fun.
Thank you.
I'm Mr. Evans, and I teach Algebra 2 and Geometry.
Do you remember any of the senior pranks from previous years at this school?
Well, this is my first year teaching here at Signal Mountain, so I don't remember any previous senior pranks, but I did go here when I graduated in 2012, so I do remember my own. Do you want me to talk about that right now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And so my senior prank, we had this whole Facebook page when Facebook was popular, and we all organized our own event, and we thought we were going to do something with trying to tie a fishing line through every single locker all the way down the hallway so that people couldn't get through the hallway. Well, that didn't go as planned. So all we did was we got here in the morning and parked our cars in different weird spots, and so that other people couldn't park. And so that was one of the things that we did. And then we did something with stacking a bunch of chairs in front of the teachers' doors so they couldn't get into their classrooms.
Do you think that students go too far with their senior pranks?
Well, apparently last year I heard that vandalism occurred to the parking signs, or parking lot signs out in the parking lot and everything. I do think it could go too far as damaging property at the school. I think you have to be careful with that, but I think senior pranks are a tradition, so go for it, but don't break anything. Don't break the rules.
Okay, thank you.
Hi Signal, in this week's Spotlight, we'll be focusing on a really special student, Tamjeed Azad, who got a perfect ACT score. Let's go and ask him a few questions.
Hey, so my name is Tamjeed. I'm a senior at Signal. I don't think I did as much studying as I should have. The first time I took the ACT was in sophomore year, and I only studied for 2 weeks using some of their free online practice tests that they had. And for the one that I took in February, I made a 36 on. I think I only studied for 2 or 3 days before the actual test. Standardized tests are standardized tests. I was really glad when it was over. Their tests aren't something that I like to do for fun, like most people. And for the most part, it went pretty well. I felt glad when I felt happy with how I thought I did during the test itself. I had about 5 minutes left on every section after I was completely done, and I left feeling pretty confident. I'd say, well, the ACT is essentially a college readiness test, and it measures reading, math, English, and science skills. So the things that benefited me the most is participating in class and doing what the teacher asks you to do. You know, in terms of tips that are specific to the test, one thing that I did on the 36 ACT I took in February was I skipped a passage in reading that I didn't understand and came back to it later. So one of the most important things on the ACT is time, and you don't want to lose the precious minutes that you have.
So to answer the question of the average ACT score for the school, based on this year's seniors' best composite, it looks like the average right now is a 24.6 based on their best single test.
I hope you liked this week's Spotlight. Keep watching The Signal Show.
Line up, we put it in the schedule and offer.